Good day, everybody. This is BA Ready and Don, and we are back with a video that's a little bit different. So this is gonna be a Pawns Loki video, but not one that you'd normally expect. I noticed that a fellow YouTuber, Tachos, created a Pawns Loki guide here. The link's gonna be down in the description below if you guys want to check it out. Definitely go check it out before I get into it, or don't. It's up to you, but you should probably subscribe to Tachos. I did get Tachos' permission to kind of do a review for this, and yeah, so that's basically what we're going to be doing, is watching his Pawns Loki guide, kind of reviewing it, and adding on some stuff. I've seen it a couple times, just to make sure that I got my head in the game and for what to say and whatnot. So, yeah, before we get started, I am BA Ready and Don. I am probably one of the best Pawns Loki players in the world, and this is a review of Tachos' Pawns Loki guide. Let's get into it.
Hey yo, what's bussin', fellas? It's your boy here, and we back. We got some more fake content for you today, and we have Pawns of Loki making a return. So I thought now would be as good a time as any to knock out the scoring guide video for this mode. It's a very confusing mode, actually. There's a lot of rules going on here, and it's very different from all the other modes. I've heard
it really is different because, like, AoEs aren't really a thing here. Pre-charge specials are pretty much impossible. Yeah, this game mode is kind of like unlike anything else in the game, and I honestly love it. It's very RNG based, but you can the game can still screw you over, but you could also limit the amount of RNG on your end. So there's like two rounds of RNG. It's your personal RNG and the game RNG, and you could actually cancel out your personal RNG if you really tried to.
Heard some people compare this mode to being like an auto chess kind of thing. I've never played a game that has auto chess, so I don't really know. I actually liken this mode to poker because you're trying to make a lot of matches. You're trying to make matching sets and matching colors and things like that. So to me, it's more reminiscent of poker than anything else. But if you want to call it auto chess, be my guest. Okay, so we had over here, and the cool thing about this mode is that you only got to make tier 11 one time. You only got to get...
That is true, because it's just like every other kind of trophy. Well, I guess the Pawns Loki is kind of the only one for that too, I think. So yeah, once you hit tier 11, you get the platinum trophy. You don't need to get any more, because then you're just getting like an extra 1,000 feathers and then technically an extra 1,500 feathers, and that's it. But it's really only like an extra 500, like an extra 1,000 feathers overall anyway. So if you need feathers, it's nice, but it's only 1,000. It's not that big of a deal. So yeah, you could even reach tier 9 and just stay there and coast there for a while, because 3 orbs is consistent all the way through. It's just feather amounts, and it's not too big of a difference, so it's not too bad.
Get there once, and your reward is a platinum trophy for all your efforts. That platinum trophy is a one and done thing. Anytime you get it after the first, it converts into feathers. So that is the one saving grace here, I guess. You don't have to really stress yourself out with this mode and like always try to aim for the top rank. You just got to do it one time and you're good. And then for the rest of the time, you can just coast like I'm doing right now. I've got my platinum trophy, so I can just chill out and relax. Okay, so you can head over to the bottom now. You want to make sure before you do anything else, you check the bonuses. So right now we caught a break. Bonuses unrestricted. We're able to use all units, all weapon types, and...
So yeah, there's a few different seasons for Pawns Loki. There's physical, there's magical, there's ranged, there's melee, and then there's everything. So this past round was everything. I reached 22nd overall in Fae. Like in all of Fae, I reached 22nd out of whoever plays Pawns Loki, which is pretty impressive considering my brigade is solid, but it's not like it's perfected in terms of balance, but it's not like everyone's a +10.
All colors and all that stuff. So
the fact
that's
that I only
fine.
have a couple plus 10s
But
and
when
I
it's
got
not
3 seconds
that
is
way,
impressive.
when you have to actually run bonus units, you got to be mindful of which weapon types are getting it. So sometimes it's magic type units where tomes and dragons would be getting it, or like physical based units, so bows and daggers and beast type weapons, swords, lance axes, things like that. So you want to make sure whenever the bonus is in play and bonus units are getting bonus weapon types, you want to make sure 30% of your team is actually fulfilling this bonus. So that's how you're going to get your maximum score from the bonus. So you don't need to...
I don't know if it's exactly 30%, but sure. Like, I just typically do... Basically, so long as you have your front your front line figured out, and then even for me, like, I do dragons and tomes, and I only have 2 of each color tome. That's pretty much all I need. So, yeah, that's, you know, maybe like 30-40%. I'd say just make sure that you have 2 of each color of whatever the whatever the bonus is, and you're good.
Run a full team of like all bonus.
And by that I mean, like, if it's magical seasons, 2 of each tome. If it's physical season, 2 of each, like, beast or whatever. So stuff like that.
This weapon types, you only need 30% of your team to do that. So that's already one good thing. Now let's head over to the brigade tab here. So first and foremost, you'll notice that I'm running all dragons and tomes. That is because dragons and tomes have been available for the longest, so we have a lot of options for them. There's also very easy amount of units to find on the friends list if you're using these guys.
So, hang on, I'm just gonna let him do his thing here.
Merges do matter on this mode, and you are allowed to use your friend characters without any detriment there, so that is good. So just go ahead and pick all your plus 10 friends pretty much and have them fight for you here, and it's going to save you a bit of trouble. You do want to be mindful of your builds though. So HP is the way that scoring works in this mode. Nothing else matters. BST is irrelevant.
Okay, so we're going to do 2 things. I'm going to talk about the HP thing, and then we're going to do a brigade kind of breakdown, because I personally find his brigade to be imbalanced, and we'll see that later down in the video where he kind of gets RNG screwed, and it's kind of his brigade's problem. So first off, when it comes to the HP thing, he is correct. HP is everything in Ponza Loki. You typically want to run higher HP units. So this Lilina is actually really terrible in Ponza Loki. First off, Gifted Magic is not that good. She can't kill an SD, and that's with the life and deaths. She's going to be terrible on Ponza Loki. Second, her HP is only 46. Typically for Ponza Loki, you want your units to be sitting at about 56 or more HP. I typically tend to lean towards 58 or higher. There are some units who are just crazy high in HP. So yeah, like this Lilina is just no, just no. Let's see here. So this is what I mean by balance. Okay, so I'm gonna pop my brigade on the screen while I talk about his, and you'll see what I mean. Just give me one quick second here. I'm gonna go up here. Oh, actually, hang on. What is? No. I want this one. Okay. So this is my brigade, right? Now. Oh, damn it. I hate this thing sometimes. So, I'm going to enlarge my brigade for you. So this is my brigade. Now, the reason mine is perfectly balanced, and by perfectly balanced, I mean like I can consistently get everything I need whenever I need it. So like, if you look at Tachos currently, right? Granted, he's using friend units. I'm only using 1 friend unit, and I actually have that exact unit. It's just theirs is fully merged, and that's the only difference. That's the only reason why I'm taking it. I have the exact same build. It's just mine is fully, or theirs is fully merged, so that's the only difference there. So this is what I mean by his brigade is imbalanced. So he's got 2 red dragons, an infantry and an armor. He's got 3 blues dragons, 2 armor, 1 infantry. He's got 3 green dragons, a flying, a cav, and an armor. And he's got 2 colorless dragons. And they're both infantry. For his red tomes, he's got 3 red tomes, 1 flyer, 2 cav. He's got 2 blues, an armor, and a flying. He's got 3 greens, 2 flyings, and a cav. He's got 2 colorless, a cav, and an infantry. So, out of all of this, the only one that he has perfectly balanced is the infantry dragons. So, there could come a run where he will run into a whole crap ton of armors and get nothing else, really. And he will not get max combos because he has too many armors. But it's not necessarily a problem of too many armors, it's too many armors of different colors. So, as it sits right now, if he gets, let's say he gets maximum unlucky, okay? He can get his red armor dragon, a blue armor dragon, a green armor dragon, a colorless armor, or no, a blue armor tome. So he could end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 armors on the field. At max, that is 26 combos. Because typically you have 2 of each pair and then like a floater or 2. But the floaters can't be the same movement type. So like he can have like, at worst he'd be averaging 24 to 26 combos when he's trying to aim for 28. That's kind of the problem here. If you look at mine, let's say you take my brigade, right? Worst case scenario, I have all my combos. All my red dragons are armored, all my green dragons are armored, all my blue dragons are flying, or 1 cav. You do have 1 unit leeway there. All my colorless dragons are infantry. All my red tomes are flying, all my blue tomes are calves, all my green tomes are infantry, all my colorless tomes are infantry. So, no matter what I get, I will always get what I need at any point, at any time. Which makes it way more consistent and scores way better. He can run into a problem where he RNG screws himself. For my brigade, only the game can RNG screw me, because I perfected my brigade. But yeah, that's the only gripe I have about this, is like, this is very inconsistent. And if he's using his friends units, there's no reason why this can't be more balanced. And also, the other thing that I would like to mention is typically you want more frontliner than backliner. Why? Your tomes are squishies typically, with the exception of Duo Asker here. But pretty much everyone else is kind of pretty squishy, if you don't count like Armor Tome Takumi, because he shouldn't be there. And I'm gonna dig into armors as well in a second here. But you typically want more frontliners than backliners, because your backliners are kind of the nukes and your frontliners are kind of the protectors, right? So not only can you run into a situation where he'll have all his, well, he won't get max combos because he has too many armors and he could get them all in one run. He's also running into a problem where he might get way more tomes and no frontliners. In which case, once your opponents start being a higher level, you're just dead. HP is everything and you have to survive combat. The problem with surviving combat is, with squishy units, is they lose HP. So, he would want more dragon frontliners, less tomes. 2 of each tome is fine. You don't need 3. And you'd want 3 of each dragon. That's what I do, and it works clearly pretty damn well. Now, the other issue, the issue that I have with having armors of like half the colors on the board, is that you're going to have a lot of overlap, and saves overlap means you can't save, so you can't protect your squishies. That's the problem. So, if this Idun and this Idun are both Niers, and this Takumi and this, I know this, actually hang on, let's go, Idun and Nagi are near, and Takumi and Tiki are far, he cannot save. He would have no near save, no far save. So, why run saves at that point? They're just going to cancel each other out. So this is what I mean by a balanced brigade, and this is my main criticism, is you just want a balanced brigade, not only for consistent combos, but also for consistent saves. All my red dragon armors are near. All my green dragon armors are far. So I will always have a near, and I will always have a far. And I will never have more than one of each. That's the key. As for unit selections, Duo Idun is fantastic. She can eat Alirs, and she eats armors for breakfast, which is fantastic. Ascended Idun is fine. Ninian has like a sweep effect, so that's pretty good. The Fallen Female Corrin is a fantastic choice because she has really high HP. Same with Duo Idun. Same with Nagi. These three have really high HP stats. For tomes, Aversa is like the queen. If you want to choose a red tome, actually you could choose both red tomes from the Grails for free. That's just an easy option. Zephyia and Aversa. Zephyia is just basically modern day Aversa, but slightly different. But they both have supremely high HP. So they are a good choice, and Aversa is like the best choice in the game. Duo Asker is phenomenal. Unless you're running Ploy, Yune can screw you over. If you run into a Legendary Robin, Yune will just get you destroyed. So unless you're running Ploy, do not run Yune. Thoki is amazing. Any unit who could do Exposure, I think it is that's a plus 10 damage one. Anyone who could do that is fantastic. A Ploy user can do it, and Thoki can do it, and that's just broken. Yeah, I don't know about Leo, but Lilina's terrible.
Passive skills are irrelevant, like scoring and things like that, but your HP, you want to make sure your HP is as high as you can possibly get it. So this store right...
You want to try to make it so you don't take damage, or you take as little damage as possible, which is hard to do if all your tomes are out on the field and you have no dragons. We'll see that later
Here
on.
would be a prime example of a unit built for this mode. We have Blue Dual Flying, which gives HP...
Yeah, this is a pretty solid build. 72 HP is... Or no, 56 HP is solid. 72 attack, yeah. Rupture Sky, sure. The Far Trace is useless, though. That's not an ideal B slot. I would put Sabotage there. Sabotage Thoki would go crazy. So whoever Kerr free-to-play is, I would highly suggest, if you're watching this, get Sabotage and slap it on Thoki. Sabotage is great on Thoki for Summoner's Duels as well, so it's not like you wouldn't be able to use it in other modes.
HP up 5, and then we have the new Squad Ace BS Seal, which gives another HP up 5, and
honestly, I would switch World Breaker to something else as well. World Breaker is not really doing much in Pawns of Loki.
double stats up 3. So Thor is a really good unit for this mode, actually, because she's able to inflict exposure on the enemies, which raises your DPS. And then also, on top of the support, she's just got a bunch of high-scoring skills here. So shout-outs to Kerr free-to-play for setting up this awesome Pawns of Loki unit.
It's okay. Thoki, just as a unit base kit, could do just fine. The B-Dual Flying is nice, but... And then, like, the Seal, I don't know why... Speed. Thoki's not fast. I think you want to go with attack and res more than likely. But, yeah, the B skill and C skill aren't really all that good in Pawns of Loki.
Now, that would pretty much be the same way you would look at all your other stuff. Just try to get whatever has the highest HP.
44 HP on Makai is terrible as well. This should be G-Dual Flying. You could probably swap out, let's see, 51 res. You could do Sabotage and Ploy. Like the Defense Res, Ploy, and... Actually, I think that's what that is, isn't it? If that symbol is the Ploy, that's a really good idea. But I would also switch the B spot. Because Sabotage is just strictly better. The Sabotage attack res.
Merges are going to raise your HP, so that's why...
That's not a great build.
Why you would want to go for a bunch of plus 10
See,
options here.
He's talking about HP, but none of these units actually have HP to speak of. So, like, they're not scoring all that great. Like, just slap on... If you don't have the G-Dual skills, just give it, like, HP speed and HP whatever stat you want. Because at least that's bumping it up by 4, and that would make the units a little bit better here.
Merges are going to raise your HP, so that's why you would want to go for a bunch of plus 10 options here. And you want to focus on weapon types that have 4 separate colors. So as we see, dragons have red, blue, green, and colorless. Tomes, of course, also have the same thing. There is one set, though, that does not have all 4, and that is swords, lances, and axes. They do not get a colorless bonus from staffs for whatever reason. So I would not recommend running swords.
Well, because they're physical. We're waiting on gauntlets.
Lances, and axes for this mode.
Now, see, at one point, like actually up to like a week ago, I would have agreed, do not run sword, lance, axes. But the player who ranks number 2, I've been talking to them, right? And they run dragons and sword, lance, axe. And they got to 2nd place. So we can't, like, I'm fine with admitting the fact that I was wrong on that. You can run sword, lance, axe, but you have to be really clever about it. You have to have the right units. I'm going to try it next run. And I think I have a balanced brigade, which should put me on to the same level as the number 2 player from Japan, from this past run. They've hit number 1 once or twice, and they typically range in the top 5. So I basically took their brigade, made it my own, and balanced it. So I think I can score even higher now, but we'll see. But yeah, you can absolutely run sword, lance, axe, but you have to have the right units for it. And that's the thing. Otherwise, I would agree, definitely, if you can't get the right units for sword, lance, axe, definitely run dragons and tomes or dragons and beasts to cover most, like as brigades. Typically, 2 brigades will do just fine for any of the seasons. Dragons and tomes, dragons and beasts, easy.
As unfortunate as that may be, you want to focus on the weapon types that are getting 4 separate colors. So bows, daggers, tomes, dragons, and beasts. That's also another area where you want to be mindful, though, because as I said earlier, dragons and tomes have been around the longest. It's not like too often when we get colored daggers or colored bows, and beasts have only recently been getting a lot of options, so it's more likely you're going to have a lot of tomes and dragons that you can run. So those would be the 2 primary choices I would recommend, but you're free to use like anything that has 4 separate colors.
I would say, like, if you're more of a casual player, definitely go dragons and tomes or dragons and beasts. If you're more of a hardcore trying to score high, you can do sword, lance, axe, but you have to make sure you're balanced and got the right units for it.
And you also want to make sure that your movement types are very balanced here, because you're going to want to try to make matching movement types where you have 2 of a kind and then you have 1 of every movement type. So if we go ahead and sort here by movement type, we can take a look at how my squad is set up. Yeah, so we've got pretty much 5 of every movement type. I have 5 infantry, 5...
So he says he has 5 of each, and I'm just going to take that at face value because I'm too lazy to count them all. It looks like he does. Let's just double check. Let's say flyers. So we got Loki, we got Yune, we got Micaiah, we got the Halloween Grima, and we got Aversa. So, like, he is correct. He does have 5 flyers, but here's the problem. For the dragons, he has a 1 out of... Well, for that color, 1 out of 3 chance of getting that flying dragon. For the tomes, he's got a 1 in 3 chance to get the red tome. For blue, he's got a 1 in 2, and for green, he's got a 2 in 3. So nothing's guaranteed. He could get a run with no flyers at all, which is not great. So yes, it is important to have the right weapon, like movement type balance, but I would say it's better to focus on balance overall. Balance your brigade so you can always get what you need, no matter what you pull. Oh, like I said, for my red dragons, if I get a red dragon, I know it will be armored, and I know it will be near save. Easy. Doesn't matter who I get. I'm good. So, like, he's basically playing with odds here every single unit. Like, if you look at the armors, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got a 1 in 2 chance to get the blue armor tome. He's got a 1 in 2 chance to get the red armor dragon. a 2 in 3 chance to get the blue armor dragon and a 1 in 3 chance to get the green armor dragon. Like these, you can get RNG screwed the second you start playing with the odds, and that's kind of what he's doing. I do agree having the balance. Actually, I want to check my balance because I actually don't know. 3, 6 armors, 2, 4 flyers, 3 calves, 6 infantry. Yeah, like, see, my movement type isn't like balanced, but it doesn't need to be because everything I have is exactly the same movement type. So I think that would work better in his case. So I would disagree that like it's important to have 5 of each. It's important to have at least 4 of each and have 2 of each be matching colors. Like 2 flying blue dragons and 2 flying red tomes. That's what's important. Not this 5 of each. You want a balance of I can always get what I want when I need it. So I would disagree here. I would disagree.
By movement type, we can take a look at how my squad is set up. 1 of every movement type. So if we go ahead and sort here, try to make matching movement types where you have 2 of a kind and then you have 1 of every movement type. So if we go ahead and sort here by movement type, we can take a look at how my squad is set up. Yeah, so we've got pretty much 5 of every movement type. I have 5 infantry, 5 cavalry, 5 armors, and 5 flyers. So
yes, but they're all over the place and nothing is the same. Like if he wants a cav, he's rolling the dice on every single one. The only one he's not rolling the dice on is the colorless dragons. He's guaranteed an infantry colorless dragon if he pulls one. Doesn't matter which one, but he's guaranteed to have it. But that's it.
So those would be... That's how I've got my squad set up, so that I can get a better chance of activating all of the score bonuses. You don't need to balance it like that. Like, you don't need 5 and 5 of everything.
You really don't.
To me, it just makes it a little easier to find the units when you're popping the mulligans and like all that.
We'll see in a minute.
That stuff. So I've got my team set up like that. And you want to make sure the colors are also pretty good. So you want like 2 of every color for each separate weapon type. We've got tomes, we've got 2 of every tome, and then we've got 2 of every dragon, and then we got some free spaces where we're able...
Like I said before, you'd want more frontliners than backliners, because backliners like tomes, daggers, bows, they're squishier. Frontliners are typically more bulky and can protect your backliners, so you'd want to make sure you have bulk over... I would say it's bulk over brawn. You want more tankiness and less nukiness, because nukes are useless if they die. So you want more frontline over backline. So I would say like 3 of each dragon and 2 of each tome, and you're good. That's what I do. And again, it works.
To just run whatever. This is usually where I'll run characters that have movement types that I need. So, for example, like there's not too many tome armor type units, so I chose 2 dragons that are armor types. And then there's not too many dragons that are cavalry or flyer types, so I chose those 2 down here to be tome units as extra options. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about setting up your squad. You want to aim for as much HP as you can get. Units that have the most merges are going to make that easier to
49, 46.
do, obviously, no. And you're free to pick up your friends' units to use them. Let's quickly go ahead and do a run. Now, if you're trying to go for tier 11, you would have to play on advanced difficulty. So you only got to do it one time, as I said, but it is very infuriating and time-consuming to actually get a perfect run, because...
Okay, so, hang on.
In this mode, if you're losing units, or if your units are taking a lot of damage, you're going to end up lowering your...
Okay, so he is correct. It does take a while to get a perfect score. I grind the hell out of this mode. I think the high... So every time you get... Like, you have an overall score, and then you have a round score, right? My combined score has reached about 990,000 or 1,000,000. I can't remember if I've reached 1,000,000, but I know I've hit over 900,000. So, like, I've grinded the hell out of this game. When I had a day off and I played it all day. 2 days in a row. I played it every minute I can. And I think that was the time I got to 17th worldwide. But, yeah. See, this is what I was talking about from earlier. He got blessed with this tome lineup, I do have to admit. Because he's got one of each movement type and one of every color. That is actually beautiful. But, right off the bat, we got all tomes, no front line, which is fine for now. The enemies are low level, but once they start being like level 20 and your units are level 15, they're attacking first and you will die. They will not survive unless they're Duo Asker. So Duo Asker's kind of saving his ass here. But, yeah, no, you want more dragons, less tomes, because this is gonna cause problems. Especially since you just got finished saying you don't want your units to die, so you want more frontline. That's how that works.
Score by having that happen.
I do apologize, I'm kind of like ragging on that point a bit, but he kind of keeps bringing it up that you want as much HP as possible, you don't want units to die. Well, the easiest way to have as much HP as possible is to run some saves, but you can't run saves. Well, you can run saves, but it doesn't matter if you don't get them. That's the problem. Mickey, squishy. Leo, squishy. Asker's tanky, so he's fine. Takumi, I can't remember what his defense/res is, so he might have problems too.
So you want to try to avoid taking damage and avoid losing units if possible. It's basically impossible for that to happen now.
No, it's not.
Because of like how crazy the power creep is.
I can get through an entire line, like an entire round, taking no damage, technically. My units just heal afterwards. Units that can heal themselves are really good for Pawns of Loki, by the way. Or if you have a young Merrick, his special, healing the entire team, is busted. Although typically, I want Legendary Robin over Merrick, but either way. Or a unit like Saline could do really well too with her healing. So if you don't have young Merrick, go Saline. If you don't have either of them, go Legendary Robin. You have a few ways to heal. Typically, there's a few different ways to heal. So like you've got options. You've got options.
But if you can do it, it's recommended, right?
Yep.
So okay. We head in here now, and we can go ahead and take a look at the list of all the combos you can make. This is why I call this poker. So you got 3 separate combos you can do here. Weapon type combo. Mm-hmm. As I said, having swords, lances, and axes and staves are a no-no because they only get 3 of a kind. Well, so they would be getting +6 while all these other weapons are getting +8.
Second best
so you can get a +8 bonus from the weapon type combo twice for having, as I'm doing here, tomes and also dragons.
I used to think the same.
Although you could do any of these combos that you want. So like bows and daggers if you wanted, beasts and tomes, beasts and dragons, whatever tickles your fancy, I guess, is fine here. Just as long as you have 2 sets of these weapons and you've got one of each one deployed. Mm-hmm. Then we have the move type mix combo. So for having one of every movement type, you're getting another +6 from this. So that would be +8, +8, +6. And then down here for having 2 of a kind.
Yeah, so like with his current options that he has, with the Leo, the Mickey, the Asker, and whatever his other one was. Takumi. He can get automatically turn 2, 14 combo, which is very nice.
You're going to be getting another combo here. This one goes up to +6 as well. So in total, you can get a maximum of a bonus of +28 for having 2 of these, 2 weapon type combos at max level 4. For the move mix combo, you can get a +6, and then for the move type pair, you can get a +6 by having 3 of separate movement types with a double. You don't get any extra points from having all 4 with a double, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, which is stupid because that's so hard to do. You should get extra points for that. Like, getting 3 pairs gives the same amount of 4 pairs? That's stupid. Like, even I have a hard time. Well, not technically. I could do it pretty easily if I really wanted to. But even then, like, once in a while, even I hit it, but it's like, whoop-de-doo, it does nothing. Which is so stupid. It makes me so sad that getting 4 pairs, 4 movement type pairs, does nothing. it does the same as 3, which is just ridiculous. Because it's
All right,
very hard to pull
and
off.
we'll play a little bit. We're not going to do like a full run, but we'll just show you guys the basics here. Now this right here, I don't know what this currency is called, but this is basically the amount of points you can use for actions here. So by selecting a unit that would waste 2 points, it shows you the amount of score that it costs to buy a unit. And then this would be like your money, your currency. So we'll go ahead and take Duo Asker here because his support is really good for this mode. He gives open domain to everybody.
Well, he doesn't have it right now, so his support doesn't really matter, but he is the tankiest one out of all your options, probably, so he's still a really good choice there. So I believe that's a good choice. But yeah, his support's pretty solid. It's not, like, crazy busted or anything. It's only +4 to each stat. And then the foe cannot make a follow-up attack, which is not bad, but it's not great. Now, Legendary Robin goes crazy. Robin goes nuts. If you don't get ployed, Robin is insane.
We can also pop a mulligan for free. The first mulligan on every rotation is free. After that, it costs $2, or like 2 currency, whatever that is. Okay, do we want Leo? Should we replace Leo? You can also replace units. So, as you see, both of these guys cost 2 points. If I were to put them back and get back some money. Let's go ahead and put Leo back, and then we're going to get 2 points. The first time you do this, per rotation, it's going to be the max refund. But if you try to refund a unit the second time, they're going to be half the score. So,
well, it's actually a half rounded down. So if a unit costs 3, and you already returned a unit, and then you try to return the one that cost you initially 3, it'll only give you 1. As you merge units, when you have 3 of a pair, you merge into the same one, they gain like 10 levels. When that happens, the cost to pull them from the bottom area costs more, and the return is more too. So like, let's say it's let's say the units cost 2 and 2, you merge them, now it's 4. Now when you return them they're the first unit, it's 2. So kind of like accumulates as time goes on. Eventually, a unit that cost you 2 initially will cost you like 8 or 10, which is kind of crazy, but it happens, and that's typically not a bad thing.
So Asker, he was worth 2 points. If I tried to put...
Yeah, like, if a unit costs 3, it's half round down, not round up, so...
Put him back after I put somebody back already. He would only be giving me back $1, or like 1 currency. So that's something else you want to be mindful of. Alright, let's see. Who do we want to actually take out here? I guess we'll go for... Let's go for Nagi. Why not?
She has
and then we'll just have Asker deal with this guy. Now, total HP here, 58. That is the combined HP of Nagi and Asker, and that is pretty much going to be how your scoring works. All 8 of your possible units will combine their HP to get your total HP score. And you don't want to take any damage here, because taking damage lowers your score. Right there, we took no damage on Asker, so that was good. We got our total HP. You also want to make sure you're KOing all of the foes to get another maximum bonus there. If you're...
So, the issue that you can run into is sometimes, like, it even happens to me and I just surrender instantly, is like, you can run into like a Brave Corn at level 30 or higher, and you don't even have any level 30s and it's turn like 4 or 5. Which is stupid, but it can happen. So you gotta be prepared for that. If you see that, just scoop, because there's no way you're winning that fight.
If you're unable to kill all the enemies, it'll actually lower your score slightly, or you wouldn't be getting the maximum possible score. So you want to make sure to rout all the foes.
Basically, your score, that round score is basically your HP, and the more HP you have and the less HP your opponent has. So if you have an opponent with only 1 unit with 1 HP remaining, you'll score better than if they had 1 unit with 30.
Alright, we have an...
But the goal is to kill them all. Kill every last one of them! Form up, surround them all! Don't let a single one escape!
Infantry type, we got an armor type. Let's try to get some separate movements here. We'll go for Micaiah, and then we'll also go for Leo. So that gave us 1 of every movement type. That also gave us 3 separate tomes of different...
Yeah, see, this is not a bad setup. He's got 12 combo turn 2. That's pretty solid. I believe it's turn 3. He's going to run into level 15 units. And then if they have more speed, his units are not going to do well.
Colors. So now we're actually kind of cooking here. We've got some pretty nice options. All right, what do we want to do here? Let's get Leo over there, and then this should actually be okay. I'm not going to...
Technically, for this round, I would actually return the Nagi and take the Takumi, because you'd be gaining combos and gaining a little bit more HP. Combos gain you HP, no other stats, I'm pretty sure. It's just flat out the combos boost your... The more combos you have, the more HP your team will have. Because your HP can go kind of crazy with enough combos. And when it comes to attack priority, because it basically looks at frontline, your frontline versus your opponent's frontline. It's whoever has the highest speed... Oh no, whoever has the highest level goes first. And if that's tied, then it's a speed check. And if both are tied, then your unit just goes first. That's typically how it goes. There is a kind of mini thing where sometimes it'll go left to right, but that's only if you really have an empty space. Like over here, if you had a unit on the far left-hand side, as you can see, the enemy does not. So it'll go left hand, left hand, level check, speed check, and then probably go in front, level check, speed check. So even if I don't know if it's like if they're the same level, I think it goes left side then, but it's usually it's weird. Left side, the left side thing doesn't matter as much. It's just strict. It just mainly just focus on the 'cause I might be just talking on my ass on that one. I feel like there's something to do with the left side sometimes, and where it would go left to right, but it's always level. Highest level goes first, and then highest, if that's tied, highest speed goes first, and if that's tied, your unit goes first. So that might be why I'm thinking there's something with the left side. So don't quote me on that. Just focus on highest level going first, and then it's a speed check. And you can use that to your advantage if you're playing with saves, because you could actually put a lower level unit in front of an enemy unit. They'll attack into that unit, and then your save will come in and delete their unit. And then your squishier, lower level unit can attack the enemy's unit in the back. Because the foes don't have saves active. Even if their units have saves, like have save skills, it won't trigger, it won't activate, so you're safe. Unfortunately, that's kind of a boost to Brave Corn, which is super annoying.
I'm going to play like a full run, because the video's already 11 minutes. I've been chewed out for having long videos, so... Alright, let's see here. I'll at least try to get some dragon bonuses. We would be looking now for a blue tome unit, and we got one there. We got Takumi to show up, so we can pick him up, and that's going to give us the +8 for having one of every tome color. And for dragons, we would need to get some different color options, but we're not getting them to show up. We're getting pretty unlucky. Okay, we got Tiki there. We'll take her.
See, this is what I told you guys earlier. Even before I watched this video and recorded this is the third time now. Even on the very first take, I said, just you wait, he can get RNG screwed and get multiple armors, and here we go. Blue dragon, green dragon, blue tome, armor, armor, armor. So at this point, movement pair armor, check. And then you've got, let's see... so that's that. One of his blue... He's got red and colorless dragon. So colorless is infantry. So that's one movement pair. So at best... Oh no, he could still get 28. But he's more than likely... He could get 26. Because the red dragon's a coin flip. And the colorless dragon's guaranteed. So at worst, he'd have... Full tomes, full dragons, armor, 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 infantry. So he'd have... No, I'm right. He'd have 24. Because he'd only have 2 movement pairs. And that would be armor. And infantry. Yeah, so his red dragons are armor and infantry, and his colorless dragon is infantry. So he either gets armor, 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 and only gets 24 combos, or he gets infantry, infantry, and only gets 24 combos. So either way, him having so many armors kind of screwed himself over right there. Because, like, this is what I'm talking about balance. You're tossing in odds that you shouldn't be. You don't have to do that. If you negate this, you'll get a more consistent run. With a balanced brigade, you will always have a more consistent run. And you'll always score better because you'll always have what you need for the combos. This is what he ran into here, where now he can only get a maximum combo of 24 with the units that he has. Plus the units he can get. Because yeah, dragon, armor, infantry. So that's infantry, armor. That's it. Or infantry, armor. That's 24, yeah. With the current units he has on the field, he can only get 24 plus, including the ones that he can get. So that's not great.
Tiki costed $3 though, so we're not going to be able to pick up somebody else. And that's pretty much how it works. I think I'll do one more round so we can at least get the dragon bonus here.
I can't remember if he gets a red dragon.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get these guys in. We'll put Asker right there. Just quickly run through this round, and then we can start setting up a little better.
Okay, he's still getting kind of lucky with the...
All right, come on. Let's see some dragons. Okay, we got Na there, who we can go ahead.
Yep. And he can get an colorless infantry dragon, and then he's only at 24. Typically by turn 4, you want to be at at least 26 combo count, maybe 24 at the lowest, and then turn 5 you definitely want to have max combos. I typically can get max combos turn 4 90% of the time, but guaranteed by turn 5.
And pick up. Na has a pretty good support refine, so she's not too shabby in here as well. And that's pretty much it. Now we would just need a colorless dragon to complete the bonus there, and we would be good. We would need either another cavalry or a flyer type to complete that.
But you don't have it. That's the problem. You just don't have it. If he mulligans and he doesn't get a colorless dragon, he could take Micaiah, and I think that would pump him up to 26. So that'd probably be the best play there.
Let's go ahead and take Leo, and we'll show it. Yeah, so +6. Like I said, you don't get +8 from having all 4 movement types doubled up. So don't worry about that. You only need 3. And that's pretty much all you need to know about this mode. So I hope this was informative. It's a lot to take in, and it's kind of confusing, but if you need to reference what type combos you can get, you can always just click on this book tab right there, and it'll show you all of the hands you can get, a la poker. And pretty much just don't lose any HP. Deploy a bunch of units that have as high HP as you can possible. You could pop...
Oh yeah, so he's fighting against units that are level 21. His units at the highest, he has a level 25. So he'd probably want to put the Na in front of the Embla, and that would win that fight. He could go the Nagi in front of the Korin, that would win that. He could go the Tiki in front of the Tiki, that would win that. He doesn't really have a way to get around the Mer, though. So that's actually kind of a problem here. So I don't know, I wouldn't even know. You could put Asker in front, and hopefully Asker would take no damage. But Mer would be initiating, and Asker will not deal as much damage. He will not kill. And then you got these guys in the back, so he will be definitely taking some damage there. And as it sits, he cannot get max combos. Because he's got way too many armors. Way too many.
Possibly get, so like max merges, and then like HP boosting passives, like HP up 5, the seal.
Honestly,
Firefly boost
point,
is another one now, so
units,
there you guys go. That is pretty much everything to know.
Just keep the Makai and whatnot, and he'd be golden. 26 combos is pretty solid. Turn 4, turn 5. Because even if he gets, actually, if he takes a colorless dragon, his combo count's gonna go down, not up. Or yeah, it would go down, not up, which is not great. Because then he would have... That would go down by 2. That would go up by 2. Oh, I guess it would stay the same. Okay, well, either way. He can't get max combos with what he has.
About Pawns of Loki. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you have any more questions, I can try to clear up any of those in the comment section as well.
Or... I'm going to do the same thing. If you guys have any questions, you could feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Or find me in Tachos' comment section, because I was in there too, because finally someone else did a Pawns of Loki video that's not me. So, like, I was pretty excited about that. Overall, this is a pretty solid guide. It's missing some key information, like attack priority, brigade balancing, etc., etc. But that's more pro level things, so I can't blame him for that. This is a pretty solid guide for beginners. There's just certain things that I kind of have to disagree with. If you were to take away one thing from my video here, or a couple key points, make sure your brigades are balanced if you want to score better. It's easier to hit tier 11 for that, or if you really want to go for a high score, it's easier for you. And just keep in mind the attack priority of level, then speed check if level is tied, and then your unit goes first. If you just keep that in mind, you guys will do just fine. Trust me. I figured out all of this myself without a guide, and I am 22 in the world. So I love this game mode to bits. It's my favorite. I'm kind of annoyed that I have to wait a month between each time. I just want to play it all the time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, definitely like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to Tachos as well. Check out his video. Show it some love. He's a great guy. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, this is Bearded Don signing off. Bye! See you, everybody.